This is a smart gooseneck kettle from Govee, and it's a kettle that I set fire to. Because I'm a complete and total muppet.
You live outside now.
We'll get to exactly how that series of events occurred shortly. Does that taste like bait? Masterful bait. Thanks to Govee for sponsoring today's video and for sending me their 1200 watt smart gooseneck tea and coffee kettle. I think the first thing I should say here is that Govee are not responsible for my stupidity. I torched this kettle, and we'll get into that in a moment. First things first, the kettle itself is actually awesome. Govee have been making smart home lights for years now, and they've featured heavily on my channel, but I am ridiculously excited to find that they are spreading into the world of smart home gadgets. And until now, the smart home market has been sorely missing a decent kettle. This thing works with Amazon Alexa and Google Home, and this means that I can do this.
Alexa,
make me a cup of tea, you slave.
Sure, I'll make you a cup of tea. And I may be a slave, but at least I didn't try to burn my own house down through pure mental incompetence.
We'll get to that in a minute. This kettle actually has so many more applications that I hadn't even thought of. It has preset temperatures for different types of tea and coffee. It has the ability to set custom temperatures in the app. It can be scheduled to boil your tea in the morning, and it even allows you to travel through time, leaping from life to life, putting things right that once went wrong, and hoping each time that the next leap will be the leap home. The kettle turns on with the on button, and if you simply want to boil the kettle, you can just press the mode button and it will boil some water. But if you're a serious tea or coffee drinker, you'll know that different teas and coffees require different temperatures, and the mode button will switch between the presets for green tea, coffee, black tea, or oolong tea. I don't know what the word oolong means. Definitely not going to take the piss out of it. Ooh, long. Hello, yes, YouTube, please. I'm sorry, I know I call everyone. Yes, I know. It's Paul Hibbert again. Well, this week something is long, and I don't know what he means by it, but I'm quite sure he means something to do with willies. And this is something that you can actually do with your voice. You can set the specific modes using your mouth hole, so you can set individual temperatures by asking for them. You could ask for oolong tea, you could ask for any of the modes that she has available, you can even ask for the DIY mode that you set in the app, such as this.
Alexa,
Tea Earl Grey hot.
Hark at him. He thinks he's Captain Bloody Picard.
That's not actually a joke. You can actually create individual routines in Amazon Alexa so that when you give a specific phrase, it will pick a specific mode for the kettle, and therefore set the particular temperature that you require for the type of tea or coffee you're making. And because my motion sensor in the kitchen is connected to She That Should Not Be Named, and my kettle is also connected to She That Should Not Be Named, I can also create routines that say, when I walk into the kitchen between 9 and 10 AM, automatically boil the kettle. And this is genius.
I'll put the kettle on, shall I? You lazy sod.
Google Home has similar functionality in that you can turn the device on and off using the app, but if you want to create a routine and set a specific temperature, it doesn't work. Why would it? It's Google. It's so massive donkey balls. Adding the kettle to my network was the usual affair of plugging the kettle in, pressing a plus button in the app, clicking on the device that it's discovered, and then pressing the power button on the kettle once instructed to do so. From there, you name your device and give it your 2.4 GHz Wi-Fi details. And from there, you can marvel at the kettle's abilities.
Oh my goodness, you got keep warm options.
Add it to Amazon Alexa with pretty much just 2 clicks, and then set the kettle on fire. It turns out that plugging a 110 volt US kettle into a 240 volt UK power supply is a surefire way to ensure you release the magic smoke. One more time, this is not Govee's fault. If you import a kettle or any other very high-powered device from the US to the UK and I just plug it straight into the mains, it'll blow up, unless it has a built-in transformer. But because kettles are maniacs, kettles draw so much power that the transformer has to be something like this size. Govee manufacture different kettles for the UK from the US because a UK kettle is designed to be plugged in to a 240 volt outlet. I was sent a US based kettle and didn't plug it into this, and that's why it blew up. By the way, this channel does this a lot, if you're new here. I tend to test things to complete destruction.
It's in an irreparable state. It won't go back in.
Dust been removed. Dust been removed.
And sometimes destroy things through pure incompetence. I do this kind of thing every week, so if you enjoy that sort of thing, then maybe hit that subscribe button and watch me review things incompetently every week. Hopefully by the time this video is released, Govee will have stock of both the UK version and the US version. But as it stands, lesson learned. Don't plug high-powered American devices into a UK power supply. It's not a good idea. So in the Govee app, you have the ability to set a DIY temperature, and this temperature is then reflected in the DIY button on the front of the unit, which would be useful for individual recipes you may cook often, or maybe for baby formula for feeding Paul Jr. The hold button on the front is really quite cool. It enables you to actually keep the temperature of the water the same for a period of time. So once you've boiled your kettle, if you press that button, it will keep the temperature constant. The app will tell you the current temperature of the water in the kettle and even give you the option to alter the temperature with a dial. You can set schedules, choose from one of the presets, and add your own DIY temperature for those baby bottles. And this next bit is actually really cool if you do have a baby, because as part of the DIY mode, you can tick a box specifically for baby formula that will boil the liquid and then let it cool to the target temperature, at which point you'll get a notification on your phone that it's ready. The only thing you can't do is get Alexa to speak to you when the kettle is boiled, which I think is a sadly missed opportunity. It'd be really cool if once the kettle was actually boiled, she would speak to let you know.
The kettle has boiled, you lazy git.
As my dreams crushed. So what else could be improved? Let me tell you. It's not going to fill itself. I think this is a fairly obvious point, and it's probably not fair for me to really include it in a what's wrong with it section. Of course you have to put water in the kettle, but I still think it's worth mentioning because people perhaps don't think of these sorts of things before picking one up. Each night you'll have to have some kind of routine where you fill the kettle with water ready for the next day. Next on the list, I'd like to be able to ask my voice assistant how much water is left in the kettle. That way, if I ask her and there isn't enough, I can go downstairs and put more water in and do the whole thing like a Neanderthal. That isn't currently a thing, and I'd like to suggest Govee consider this for their future product. At 0.8 litres, I think it could stand to have a bit more capacity. My Smeg kettle, for example, has nearly a full litre more at 1.7 litres, and so it will entirely depend on whether you're bothered about filling your kettle every night of the week as to whether this will be a problem for you personally. And finally, at present, there is no support for Apple Homekit or Home Assistant. Home Assistant support could very easily come because all it's missing is a community-written driver. The underlying foundation is already laid, it just needs somebody to write a specific driver for this kettle. And according to the Apple Homebridge forums, Apple HomeKit has at least base-level functionality if you are a Homebridge user. There is still that option. This is a very attractive and very smart kettle. The temperature can be set to Celsius or Fahrenheit, and if you're a tea or pour-over coffee enthusiast, then this is an awesome choice even before you add in the smart home functionality, because it's a well put together device with the ability to set and maintain temperatures. Any schedules that you do create work entirely locally too. This means that even if your internet connection goes down, your kettle will still boil to its usual schedule because all of that is stored in the kettle itself. In a similar vein, the thing connects via Bluetooth to your phone, so even if you have no internet whatsoever, your phone will still be able to control and use the kettle. At time of filming, it's sadly not yet available in the UK, but they have created a holding page for it on the Amazon UK site, which does suggest that a UK release is imminent. So I'm holding out hope there, and in the US, it's on at $79.99. And right this moment has a $20 off coupon. Fingers crossed that that deal is still running by the time this video goes out, because that is a fantastic price. If you're in the market for a gooseneck kettle anyway, then you're not going to find anything that is anywhere near this price tag for this level of functionality. This really is probably one of the best smart kettles on the market right now, and if you're interested, as usual, the links are in the description. I hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. That'll tell YouTube's algorithms it was a good video, and more people should see it. If you want to see some more of this guy, hit that subscribe button and ding that bell. If you ding the bell, it lets YouTube know that you want to be notified when I upload videos. These incredible people running up your screen, I say it every week, I know I do, and I'm sorry I say it every week. I'm not really sorry, they deserve it, they deserve all the praise. These are my patrons from Patreon, and without them, you wouldn't be watching this video. If you want to be one of those incredible people, you can do that at either Patreon or buy me a one-off beer at PayPal, and either way, I'll genuinely love you forever. These are my Facebooks and my Twitters and my Instagrams and my TikToks too. Come and hang out there and we can be best friends. See you next time. If you like that, hit that subscribe button and you can see me more doing that. Can't even speak properly. See? See me more doing that. Hello, yes, YouTube, please. I'm sorry, this week it's something is long. And I'm not sure what it is, but I'm pretty sure it's something to do with willies! I'm pretty sure it's something to do with penises!